Ramon Show. Welcome to a brand new episode. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com, and we got a brand new episode, a great episode for you today. Always something special that I'm cooking that's out of the oven today, and I hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing blessed. Those of you watching me live, hi. Thanks for being here live. Those who are watching me on demand, you could be listening to this on iTunes. You could be listening to this on Spotify. You could be listening to this on YouTube. You could be hearing on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and other platforms. Glad you're here today. Let me know you're listening, whether you're live or on demand. Put something in the chat. In fact, what I want you to put in the chat is, hey, just that, hey, I'll know you're here, and that will encourage me, and I will encourage you. We're going to talk about TikTok. What's going on with TikTok and the sale? FedEx, yeah, FedEx is making some waves. American Airlines reducing points, YouTube podcast consumption, and Instacart AI tools. As always, these are things that happen in the big billion-dollar brands, but what's interesting, we small businesses can always learn from them. Alexandria Nicole, glad you're here on the Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here, Alexandria. Thanks for being here with me today. Here's what I wanted to touch on, one thing before we get into today's headlines. As I want to encourage you to keep on going. I saw an interview with Mr. Beast, Jimmy Donaldson, and his CEO at a New York Times event a few weeks ago, whenever it was, but I saw an interview of him. Yes, he's done silly videos since he was a child and went viral early on. And he was asked today if he took all that away and he had started over again, could he do it again? My answer is there's always day one for all of us. There's always day one for all of us. For the past 20-something years, I've been in digital media and content and had done some amazing things, been on some amazing stages, and largely leveraged that to feed my family, to provide for my family. Honored that I was able to hire over 100 freelancers over the length of me being in business. I look on Upwork recently and able to provide a living to some of them, able to use the money that God's given me that I've done with my businesses to donate to other people, donate to people who need the money, donate to causes, build great experiences, and more. And as I think about the next chapter of my journey, I hope to, I'm on a journey to make the next year better and bigger than it ever has been before. Now, if I can do that, I don't know. Some people don't like to hear me talk this way. They like to just say, hey, Ramon, just talk positivity and just so you can do it. But that's just not how I roll. When I do events, for example, I've done them many, many times, big events with hundreds of people over the years, thinking if I should get back into that again. But I'm always practical. Maybe no one will show up. Maybe this will fail. Maybe this will go wrong. So I don't want to be clear. Some people don't like that talk. They're just like, go, 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 go. Say you can do it. It's just not me. So my point is, as I think of 2026, and you could be listening to this in 2027, 2030, whatever the year, doesn't matter. The principle's the same, Iana of the musical web. As I think about my next journey, Lakea, as I think of my next journey, you're on the journey with me seeing this. I'm happy with what I've done in the past. But as I'm 53 years old, going to 53, going to 55, going to 60, going to 70, where do I want to be? Who do I want to be? And how am I going to get there? And what purposeful, actionable steps am I doing to get there? When I think of my email newsletters, I was hearing somebody who said he had 12,000 email subscribers. And we get excited because people have hundreds of thousands or millions. I'm like, you know what? That's an achievable goal. I'm growing to 20,000 email subscribers and more. I'm growing to having more impactful events. I'm growing to a bigger YouTube channel. I'm going to more impact across social platforms. So this is all doable. This is all very doable. The question is, do we have the wherewithal to keep at it? Do we have the wherewithal to keep showing up consistently over and over again? Do we have the wherewithal to keep iterating, to keep innovating, to keep making it better and better and better as we grow our businesses, Alexandria Nicole, as we grow our businesses, Lakea, as we grow our businesses, Iana? Do we have the wherewithal? Do we have the capacity to keep doing it? As Lamar Tyler, my coach, says, it's about consistency, showing up over and over and over again. I can look at my Spotify stats. Is the podcast as big as I want it? Does it have billions of followers like others, or millions of followers, or hundreds of thousands of followers? No, it does not. But I see it increasing. Every day, I see it in the upright area. And that is a key to success, that something's happening. Kevin Hart talked about this and said, and I don't know, this is at the journey of everybody per se, but many people, they're doing okay. They're moving along, and then they hit, boop, an inflection point. Something happens that takes them to the next level. Everybody, let me touch on today's news of the day today. And I want to remind you, this episode brought to you by our friends at Bitdefender. Listen, when you go home at night, and in fact, when you leave your home, you lock the door of your house. Click, click. You lock the door of your house because you want to make sure it's secure, because there's valuable information, valuable things, valuable stuff, valuable people, valuable pets, and whatever it may be in your home. So you lock it. Most people are great, but you don't know who the person is that's not great, who may do harm to your business. When you leave your car and you park your car, you lock your car. Boop, boop. Why do you lock your car? Because you don't want somebody to open your car and take your headphones out, take out your glasses, take out your purse, take out your bag, go through your glove compartment, or steal your car. Now, what about your business? Is your business secure? I encourage you, check out bitdefender.com/Ramon, bitdefender.com/Ramon. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Go to that link right now, bitdefender.com/Ramon. Just check it out and see that. And make sure that your small business is secure. Don't forget, go to zoneofgenius.com, zoneofgenius.com, so you don't miss out on all this content. We publish newsletters and more. That's probably the most effective way to make sure you don't miss out. And the events that I'll be doing in 2026, don't miss out. The places I'll be that you're invited to be at in 2026, don't miss out. Don't miss out. Go to zoneofgenius.com and sign up today. All right, let's get forward on today's topics of the day. Ding, 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 ding. TikTok is finally being sold. TikTok has signed agreements to sell its U.S. unit to a U.S.-led joint venture. Axios is reporting, citing an internal memo from TikTok CEO Shu Che. U.S. firms Oracle and Silver Lake, along with Abu Dhabi's MGX, will share a combined 45% stake in that deal. The deal, expected to close January 22nd and worth an estimated $14 billion, will allow the U.S. business to operate independently and oversee American users' data protection, according to the memo. It would end an ongoing U.S.-China dispute that led to a temporary ban of the video sharing app earlier this year. Bottom line, what does this mean for you? Nothing. It's a big nothing burger. It's just a transference of wealth. That's all it is. And people screaming and hooting and hollering. That's all it is, Kim Wyckoff. That's it. So it doesn't mean anything for you. Is it going to change your life? No, it's not. TikTok is going to be continued to use. It's worth $14 billion, which in the greater scope of things, Microsoft and NVIDIA and others are worth like trillions of dollars. So you know what? It moves on. It's one of many platforms. Facebook is here. Instagram is here. Threads is here. You know what? Pinterest is here. Snapchat is still here, and the fax machine is here. TikTok is here. It's not going away. Do your best to leverage as much as you can, but I don't want you to forget, own your own real estate. Are you focused on building your email list? Are you focused on building your own website, having your own domain name, and building your own channels? My name is Ramon Ray, reporting here that TikTok is good and fine, and those can breathe a big sigh of relief that TikTok ain't going nowhere. But it's a big nothing burger. TikTok is not banned. It's now sold to U.S. companies with Oracle and Silver Lake and others, and it is what it is. And a Saudi Arabian company, Abu Dhabi company, rather. So good for them, good for TikTok, good for everybody who's on TikTok. Ding, 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 ding. Next up, FedEx is making some news. And you may say, Ramon, what are we going to learn from FedEx? Well, FedEx lists full-year outlook as volume rises. FedEx reported strong business from its second quarter and lifted the low end of its 2025 guidance as the giant continues to turn the corner on tariff-related tumult from the earlier year. Total revenue rose. Meanwhile, the U.S. Postal Service announced it will open up the last mile leg of its delivery process to more shipping companies in hopes of boosting revenue. What does this mean for us? Well, bottom line is, it's not just that digital e-commerce is booming, but digital e-commerce, people shopping online, means the products and services had to get somewhere, and not only getting somewhere with U.S. Postal Service, but also getting there somewhere with other carriers, FedEx, UPS, DHL. So listen, people still need to ship goods and services. People still are not going to shop on time. Things still need to be shipped inmediatamente rápido, right? Things still need to be shipped that way. And FedEx is in this market of rapid, high-speed delivery. So that's to learn today. There's always a niche somewhere. Find the quote-unquote white space. Find the margins. Find out what's not being done, how you can leverage and take part of that to grow your business, Kim, to grow your business, Lakea, to grow your business, Alexandria. This is what I'm doing. I'm looking at what are the areas in business that I can grow on, that I can latch on and take to the next level. And I'm itching, I'm on the cusp of starting to launch a series, or at least one, in-person businesses. It'll be one big event, but I don't think I'm going to start there. I think I'm going to start a very series of smaller events of 20 to 30 people in New York and go back to doing in-person events, capturing that content and more, because bringing people together in person, it's great for those who are in person. And let me let you in on a little secret. Those who are not there see the pictures, see the photos, see people. They want to be part of it as well. So watch out for this space, what Ramon Ray's doing as I continue to build the Zone of Genius Ramon Ray empire. I'm excited about this to see where things go, and dialed in and focused. Ramon is a keynote speaker and event host going around the world. I got some things planned, got talking to some people in India and more. That's number one, Ramon Ray. And I'm teaching you what I'm doing, sharing with you what I'm doing, because you may want to be on the journey with me. Ramon Ray being a speaker and event host. Number two, Ramon Ray working with amazing brands to help enhance their credibility to the small business market. And number three, Ramon Ray adding value to you, such as things like office hours with Ramon. Many of you are saying, hey, Ramon, we want to work with you. Ramon, can you help us grow our business as well? The answer is yes. Visit me in office hours with Ramon, RamonOfficeHours.com, RamonOfficeHours.com. Check out and visit me there. A new offering where I'm mentoring you and coaching you to grow your business. We've already had signups. We've already had people enjoying it in office hours and able to learn with Ramon Ray. So check out RamonOfficeHours.com, RamonOfficeHours.com. If you want to work with Ramon, you want this kind of knowledge and insight, check out RamonOfficeHours.com and let me help you grow your business. Ding, 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 ding. Next up, big news of the day, American Airlines. This is interesting news, and I'm going to dive into this, and it's about American Airlines, yes, but even more importantly, possibly, it's about your business. Brian Hess is in the house. Brian, I just talked about you yesterday, and I talked about, Brian, I gave a lesson on customer experience, and I taught Brian Hess how receiving this from you was so important. Not sure if you're still there. You got your own show doing soon, but I talked how this was so important to me getting this, and how now Stephen Bartlett, Diver CEO, has handed these out to some guests too. It meant so much. So Brian Hess, I just want you to know, man, if you're there receiving this, it meant so much. It was like, wow. So thank you, Brian Hess, for showing up. Thanks for being here. And Brian Hess, I can't wait to see what we can do together in 2026. We've had a lot of conversations and talk. Of course, I know we got to have the right fit and all that. But man, just the fact that you're here means a lot. Julie Riga, glad you're here today on the Rundown with Ramon Show. And guess what, everybody? The Rundown with Ramon Show is growing. The live audience is here, yes, but the people who are watching it on demand and afterwards, that is growing. Ding, 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 ding. American Airlines nixes points for economy flyers. Listen to this news, and then I'm going to share with you how does it relate to you. American Airlines customers will no longer earn points or frequent flyer miles for basic economy tickets, the carrier confirmed this week. The move comes as airlines rush to beef up perks for bigger spending travelers, that'd be me, whose business has become increasingly central to airline revenues, with American recently announcing a slew of new premium upgrades as it looks to keep up with rivals Delta and United. American noted that members of its loyalty program will still be eligible for upgrades on basic economy tickets, however. So this is the thing here. American Airlines used to give points to everybody, but now they're saying if you bought the cheap tickets, we're already giving you something. You already get cheap tickets. They're like, this is what I've talked before. They're segmenting their customers and saying, we love you, you're flying, you buy a ticket, you get to fly on our plane, great. But those who spend a bit more, when Alexandra Nicole, she buys a premium economy class ticket, when Brian Hess buys a first class ticket, when Julie Riga buys a business class ticket, they're saying that will count towards mileage points. Why do we want mileage points? Because when you have mileage points, you can save that up and do flights for free, quote unquote, and or get stuff in the points store. So interesting. What does this mean for us? This means for us, we need to learn to segment our business. We have to segment our customers. There's customers who are high value, recurring revenue, paying a premium, see value in what we're offering, willing to pay for it. You need to focus on them. I was just yesterday talking to one of my brand sponsors. I'm dialed in and focused on her and her brand. She sees worthwhile to invest in Ramon to carry the torch of one of my brand sponsors. I'm very focused on them. I'll fly to the country to meet them. It's of value, and I love all my sponsors. But those are like, Ramon, hey, can we pay you $500 to sponsor a blog post? That's nice. Not sure I'm going to fly out to meet you. We need to do the same thing, Brian. We need to do the same thing, Alexandria. We need to do the same thing, Julie. Segment our customers. Ding, 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 ding. Next up, news of the day. YouTube podcasts are growing. If you haven't checked out the Brian Hess Show, see that out. His cool lights and his cool hair. YouTube podcast consumption continues to climb. Listen to this. YouTube users streamed over 700 million hours worth of podcasts from their living rooms in October, as the Google-owned streaming giant continues to lure audiences and ad dollars away from traditional TV. Woo, I'm seeing that in my own watch. I look at Netflix, I look at Amazon, so traditional TV is already gone. People still watch it, but traditional TV is less and less. But I'm looking at how can I watch Chicago PD? How can I watch this or that show? Then you got to worry about how to pay for it or not, or is it on Netflix or not? But YouTube, a good podcast that's right within your genre of interest. I like YouTube podcasts. Most of them I listen to are business focused, but if I get an entertaining one, I'll do it. YouTube users streamed over 700 million hours worth of podcasts from their living rooms in October, as the Google-owned streaming giant continues to lure audiences and ad dollars away from traditional TV. The video provider's enhanced search functions and discovery tools have helped drive its podcast dominance amid stiff competition from rivals Netflix, Spotify, and Meta's Instagram. Earlier this week, Netflix announced a partnership with iHeartMedia centered around video podcasting, and Instagram launched a new dedicated TV app. The world is getting increasingly confusing, increasingly noise, which means there's opportunity. Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. B, said it best. There's going to be less and less of these global people we know who everybody knows, like the Oprah Winfrey, the Michael Jordan of the day. Few of those are coming up. The world's so fragmented. But I tell you this much, Alexandria can be well known in her field, helping businesses elevate their growth through what she does. Ayanna Webb can be best known to teach people how to play piano. Brian Hess and what he's doing with Top Contractor School, Top Pavement Group, his brands, his assets known in that space that he's in and beyond, and other things he may do. So my question for you today is, how are you known? How do you want to be known? Are you the celebrity CEO of your industry? That's the question of the day. Are you the celebrity CEO of your industry? And that's within all of us have the opportunity to do just that. My name is Ramon Ray, everybody. This is the Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here today. Glad you're enjoying the show. Got a few more things up, one more thing up. Ding, 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 ding. Instacart's AI pricing tool is under FTC microscope. Now, here's the thing. We talk about segmenting our customers. Airlines do this. We give offers. Do you want A, B, or C? And I guess that's cool. But AI pricing does the reverse. When I look at my screen here, AI pricing lets me see it. Okay, I see Brian Hess, Alexandra Nicole, and Julie Riga. Can I use tools? Can I quickly on the spot mine their data, see who they are, see how much money's in their bank, as it were, not literally, but you know what I mean? See all the data I can, and for the same price, can I give one offer to Brian, one offer to Alexandria, and one offer to Julie? Can I do this dynamically? They're buying the same product, but because I can see more about them, can I dynamically change the price? So they're buying the same product, but three people are paying three different prices using the power of AI. Sounds kind of grimy, sounds kind of unfair, but maybe it is fair. Because if I have a $10 budget, why can't United Airlines sell me a ticket that's a $10 budget? But if they see that Alexandria has a $50 budget, why can't they raise the price a bit? Because she'll pay for it and she can, and they're profitable and she doesn't mind it. Maybe it's okay. But then we get to discrimination issues and more. So it's kind of a messy slide, I know. But I wonder. Brian Hess, I love this, everybody. Take note of this. Exactly what I'm saying. Brian Hess is doing this with One Team Media, is leading the way for podcast growth for brands, celebrities, and professional athletes. I love this. And Brian's doing it. Brian and his team are doing it. I've been there and seen their amazing studio and what they're building. It's amazing. Love that, Brian. Everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here today. As I always say, or as I say oftentimes, make an impact. We need more people to make an impact, a positive impact in the world. We can choose to be the thermometer or the thermostat. If we're the thermometer, everything that comes our way, we melt and we soak in the negativity. But if we're the thermostat, we can choose to make a positive impact, choose to make a difference in any environment, any room we are in. Everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. Glad you're here today, encouraging you to make a difference in the world, encouraging you to reach out and touch somebody, bring a smile, bring a cheer to somebody. If you got a question for me, by the way, want me to answer a question with you live right now, type the question in the chat. I'll be back in about 10 seconds. Just going to put a little bit of jingle on here. But if you got a question for me, how I can help your business grow, or any question you have for me, snarky question, business question, personal question, any question you want to ask me, ask it in the chat. I'll be right back in about 10 seconds, 3 seconds, who knows? I'll be right back. This is The Rundown with Ramon. I told you I'd be back. I just felt like playing that jingle. So let me wait a second here and see if anybody has a question for me. But it's amazing how life is and how life moves forward. Right now, it's raining outside, and I'm debating, should I go on the treadmill or not? Hey, Phyllis George, glad you're here. And if I don't, I'm not going to feel so bad. If I do, I'm not going to feel so bad. I'm debating, when am I going to take my full next piano lesson? I've been slagging and taking piano lessons of the musical web. I signed up for it, trying to take piano lessons. And I got distractions like all of you, looking at martial arts videos, looking at weapon videos. I got my family, and I'm an empty nester, quote unquote, now. So it's quote unquote just my wife. But hey, I got to add value to her. She adds value to me. Love this question from Brian Hess. Brian Hess, I love this. Thank you for asking the question and know what I'm going to say, Brian. What do you think about billionaires being demonized in America? Here's what I think about this. I think most people are ignorant people and don't know how wealth is built. I think most people are well-meaning people and they're hurt because they feel, I can't stretch this. I think most people, I can't get there. The third part is they listen to the headlines of the media, and those who maybe don't understand the economy. I like to think that most people are good people, don't understand how wealth works, and they think that everybody's doing something criminal. Now, let me be clear, Brian, as I know you know, there are criminal, nasty, miserable people in the world. But it's not just billionaires. There's evil billionaires, evil millionaires, evil trillionaires, and evil poor people on government assistance. It's the human experience. But let me tell you something about most billionaires that I know, multimillionaires that I know, studying them, reading their books, following them, not all, but the stories that I've seen and heard, most of them, one, have started from nothing and built their wealth on their own, as it were, their own ingenuity, their own risk taking, like NVIDIA's founder, Stephen Hung. He wasn't given nothing. It took risk, it took gumption, it took taking a big bet. He's earned his state of being a billionaire. Some have been handed that money. Some have been given that money through what their family did, and that's no shame in that. So I think most people demonize billionaires probably because they don't understand how money works. They don't know the true narrative of a billionaire. And I'll say one more thing, Brian Hess. One of my own family members, she said something like, yeah, those business owners, not small. She said, those business owners always blah, blah, blah. And I turned to her, I'm not going to say her name, you know, who she is in my family. But I said, you do know I'm a business owner. You do know one day, by God's grace, I hope to have more wealth than I have today. I'm building zoneofgenius.com. Maybe one day I'll work with Brian Hess and One Team Media. Who knows? But I said, one day I want to make more than I'm making. And I said, did you know, to this family member, that most of us who are on the journey of being wealthy, we want to provide for our families. We want to have the nice things, yes, but there's only a limited amount of nice things we can have. What do we do with the rest of our wealth? We give it away and help other people. So thank you for the question, Brian, about billionaires. It's such a great question. And sadly, most people just don't understand about economy and capitalism, how money flows, and they forget that everybody has issues. Love this question coming in from Alexandria Nicole. Haven't even read the question fully yet, so I'm going to read it live and see what it is. Do you believe the pricing tiers are sliding scale framework that allows opportunities or is more unethical? That's a good question, Alexandria. Well, let's just take it up here, Alexandria, my own little business and my own little part of life. And I know it's not exactly what you're asking, but you take an airline. There's one plane. We are all on the same plane, getting on and getting off, getting on at the same starting point, getting off at the same destination. We're all breathing the same air. We have the same lighting system. It's the same plane, same carpet. Facts. But in that plane, there's metaphorically 3 different tiers of people on your average 5-hour flight, 3-hour flight in the USA, for example. I fly quite a bit. There's business class seating and or first class seating, plush chairs. You get a full class meal. You get wine. They ask what you want before you take off. Better lighting. You get your own little private area depending on how far the flight is, what kind of plane it is. First class, business class seating. And people pay for that or upgraded to it, or they've invested in that over the years. They've earned that spot through their companies flying, whatever it is, whatever their story is. Then you have premium economy seats from about half the time. Good seats, much more legroom is the main thing they're giving. Seats may be a little better depending on the plane you're at. Premium economy seats, whatever you would call it on the airline you're at. And then you have everybody else. Cramped seats by the bathroom, not much space. So that's pricing tiers. I don't think we can live in a world, Alexandria, where everybody gets the same. And the reason why we can't, because everybody doesn't put in the same effort and everybody doesn't get the same results. Let's take basketball, something we all know, or soccer. The teams that win, the teams that do best, they get more of the money, more of the prize money. They get more of the glamour, more of the accolades, more of the sponsorship deals. The teams that don't do it, nobody knows. Nobody knows their name. You get my point? So is it fair? Don't know if it's fair. I wish we live in a world where I can just be born and everybody could get money in their account. You get what I'm saying? So that's my 2 cents. I love your 2 cents on this, or 10 cents on this, Alexandria. Not here on the show per se, but feel free to comment in the chat and I'll look at it after the show's over. But I think it's a great question. Pricing tiers as a sliding scale. Is it ethical or not? I like the fact, and I think about an airline going back, everybody can't pay, let's say, $10,000 for a first class seat. Everybody can't. But I still want to fly and visit my mother, so I can pay $700. See what I'm saying? Or I look at the FIFA World Cup coming up here in New Jersey. I'm looking at the tickets. Premium tickets are like $6,000 or more. My friend Scott Simons went to F1 racing in Abu Dhabi. Tickets for that experience were $10,000 for the VIP Platinum, not including the flight and other things that happen. So, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. What a great show we are. Great questions from Alexandria Nicole. See what she's doing at EYGEvents.com. Thank you, Brian Hess, for being here today. Can't wait to see how you're soaring, see what you're doing in 2026. Can't wait to work with you, continue to learn from you and what you're building. Everybody, have a great day. Be blessed and make an impact in the world. Make a difference in somebody else's life. My name is Ramon Ray. Don't forget to go to zoneofgenius.com, zoneofgenius.com, so you don't miss out. I'm out. Be blessed. Have an amazing day. See you next time. See you probably, next time, 7:30 a.m. Later.